Noise department.
I remember my first idiot moment with Underberg, I should say. I was like, somebody made this delicious elixir. And you can sell it at a beer bar. So, I mean, it's not alcoholic,
Right.
probably. It's just this, they marvelously made this wonderful thing. One day I was all wasted and I was like, I don't know. I mean, I had like 5 Underbergs. I don't know. I'm like, oh,
There you go.
ding. It's only 88 proof. Sure.
Yeah.
You idiot. Yeah. So that was my dumb moment with the Underberg.
This is Thirst Trap, a beverage industry podcast, and I'm your host, Tracy Bradley.
Hello, everyone. Today we have one of my favorite people on the planet, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Brian Wolfe from Tenaya Creek Brewing Company.
Woohoo. I don't really think it's all that, but
I do.
I'll take it.
Have you met you? I've met you.
I mean, I like being me. There's no question about it.
Well, welcome, Brian.
Thank you very much.
How you doing?
I'm great. Great. It's a
Good.
beautiful day.
It is gorgeous out today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I get to be there later.
Yes, you do.
Oh, yeah. We have comedy tonight, so it should be all right.
Comedy?
Yeah.
You have comedy there?
Well, it's
Where
usually
have I
the
been?
first Saturday.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we've done it for a year and a half or so. Oh, well, I guess we could promote ourselves better then.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, our host is a good guy. He's been hosted our trivia as well for the longest time.
Oh, yeah.
So Jay, the guy who does that, is the host comedian.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So I will see him this evening.
Last Saturday, you couldn't do it because of the party.
Yes.
Okay, got it. But speaking of the anniversary party that was last week,
Yes, indeed.
I just thought that it would be fun for us to break down all of the awesome brews that Anthony and Jeffy and
It's from the
The
mad
gang.
scientist Jeff mostly. He
Yeah?
really creates those recipes by and large.
does he really?
Yeah. I mean, we usually do one at a time for, the whole year, offline series, whatever, sometimes two. But that's the day where he goes all crazy and makes creations that are beyond belief. And they're all wonderful.
They were so good. Yeah, so I have a list. I have the list. And I mean, I stayed more towards the low ABVs
Right.
just because I knew I had to pace myself. So if I had a full beer last week, I stuck to I really liked the Moodstones.
The regular version or one of the crazy creation versions,
The
because he did
Berliner
the
Weiss
puzzle
with
of madness
tangerine.
and he did
Yeah.
One Trick Pony.
Yeah, I had all of those and they were all amazing.
Yes.
I had full beers of those three for sure.
The One Trick Pony was the prettiest beer that we'd put out.
Yeah.
And that was the Moodstones with,
Champagne and blackberries.
yes,
That was the first beer that I had at the party last week.
that was absolutely a gorgeous beer.
It was.
delicious. It was beautiful looking. It was great.
Yeah, I was outside because that's where they were pouring it, was outside, I think.
No, that one was inside.
That was inside.
Outside. So it's
Then
funny that
what's
you
the
say
one that I had?
outside, because
Oh,
these are the ones I had the least. And the where's the hop ride? That flavored hop ride with all the craziness.
uh-huh.
What's the name of that?
Angel-headed hipster.
So that was the first one to go.
Oh.
I went outside to go get some of that
And it
because
was
I had
gone.
only tasted it just briefly when we were in the trying everything mode. I went to go get one.
Uh-huh. And did you get one?
No,
No. Oh.
I was upset. We didn't get to leave the bar very much, so it wasn't.
Yeah.
I didn't get to make that trip often.
Then the first beer that I had was the Horseman. It was an outside beer.
And what was that one?
That was 5.2% Pilsner. It's El Charro, Singing Frog, and
Uh-huh.
Oktoberfest blend.
That was the lager blend. Yes.
That was really good.
Really interesting. I mean,
It was.
no fruit or anything added to it. Just took all 4 of the lagers and
Yep.
put them together.
And put them together. And there you have it. It
That
really
was
good.
at the end of the day. That one was gone as well. The only beers that we did go through were on the trailer. Everything inside made it through the day.
Oh, okay. But then like the higher ABVs,
They hung around.
they did.
Yes.
Okay.
And they will still be on, actually. The because it was just the barrel aged beers that we unloaded the barrels for the party. So I just tapped the barrel Imperial Stout inside yesterday. So it's on now and will be for a while.
So the higher ABVs and the darker ones, I just sort of took sips of my friend's beers and my husband's beer, because he likes darks. He likes like to drink the whole loaf of bread. Yeah.
Well, sandwich in every glass. I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
On the darker side, outside, there was the barrel-aged Imperial and barrel-aged God of Thunder.
Yes.
And those, we emptied the barrels just for the party on those. There was the Four Horsemen. That was the lager blend. That was crazy. The hop ride with all the fruit. What were the fruits in that guy?
That was pineapple, orange, and mango.
It was so good.
I didn't have a full one of those.
Me
but
neither.
I think I either helped myself to Rick Blake's or possibly Haley's or maybe Tony's.
Right.
Even. Yeah.
Yeah, Rick had mentioned that some people were filling everyone's glasses all the way up. And it was like, you were smart, you know us, and you weren't filling our glasses all the way up.
Right.
So you could try more beers.
Yes.
And then there was one more beer out there on that trailer, wasn't there?
Yes. There was the Smoke Wagon BA God of Thunder, which is the Baltic Porter. And then there was this 2023 Smoke Wagon Imperial Stout.
And that's the one I just tapped yesterday.
There was
This one.
Doom Ghazi.
Yes. That's the Smash IPA.
Yeah,
Grapefruit soda.
I did not try that one.
Yeah, I had just barely tried that one. We just ran through all those right before open. And so those three beers, except for the two barrel aged, the other three outside, gone. And then inside, obviously, like I said, I thought Knives Out Brittany was going to go first.
That was an amazing
and that
beer.
was the Gypsy Fade with cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe and tahine.
Yes. The next day, I was rimming glasses with tahine. Doing it that way, and it was absolutely glorious.
That sounds amazing. I should just bring some tahine or just keep like a little shaker of it in my car.
We have
for special occasions.
Tahine me. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic with the El Charo. I was doing it with the Oktoberfest, so it's really good too.
And then let's see. I loved the Knives Out Brittany. A little on the darker side, the Rise of the Zombies.
So yeah, that's kind of ironic, isn't it?
That was
But he put so much stuff in that beer. It's like the kitchen sink candy bar beer, and it's fantastic.
It was so good.
That and the Dreadnought. Dreadnought was the blend of stout and God of Thunder with macadamia nuts and sea salt and such.
Really went all in.
It was very nutty. It was fantastic. Usually, the macadamia would kind of be muted or whatever. And it was definitely really good. Yeah. Another candy bar beer. And then Transmission from the Void?
Yep. That is 9% God of Thunder with raspberries and vanilla nitro.
And that was fantastic. The candies that you get, they're like chocolate, I guess. And you can, then Christmas time, they make peppermint bark or whatever, but it's like chocolate and it has like the little bit of raspberry in the middle or whatever. That's exactly what it tasted like.
Yes. So good.
It was super good.
And then just backtracking though, the Rise of the Zombies, guys, was 9.6%. And it was a barrel-aged Imperial Stout with coffee, coconut, cocoa nibs, vanilla, and marshmallow. That sounds like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory in a glass.
Yeah. Whole entire candy bar right there.
It was so good.
Some of the bigger beers, they kind of made it through the week almost, because we've been pouring them in smaller pours that made it through the party. So I actually had a Rise of the Zombie last night. It was really, really still good.
And then let's see, the Willie Mace was good. That was a lower ABV.
It was. And
4.8.
Was that Hellas?
It's hoppy golden.
Oh,
ale?
It was the Aviators.
So it was that with peaches and green tea.
Yeah, and the green tea didn't take over, which was nice. It was very peachy.
It was nice though. It was like refreshing because it was just a gorgeous day.
Yeah, but it definitely was a gorgeous day for the event. No questions
really was.
asked. We couldn't have asked for anything better.
It wasn't windy. It was just sunny and beautiful, and it was.
I remember a couple of years ago, we were doing music outside, and that's when we switched to music in the breweries because everyone was complaining about being outside. And then I think last year, Donzo was like, I want to play outside. We don't know what's happening anymore. Nah, he did a good job putting the music together for me this year. So.
Good.
I appreciate him for that, for
Yeah.
sure.
What else did we have? We had the Antidote, which was Smoke Wagon barrel-aged barley wine with coffee and cocoa nibs on nitro.
So that's one that he's made before, but he's never used the barrel-aged barley wine before. He's only used the regular barley wine.
Oh.
So, yeah, a little pinky in the air kind of bit. But adds another little layer of deliciousness. That's one of his favorites, I think.
I mean, there wasn't a single beer last week that I didn't like.
Well, I don't think it would have been possible.
No. Well, it's not. Let's just be honest. It's not possible.
Right.
And then let's see am I pronouncing this right? Nahuala?
Mm-hmm. Nahuala.
Nahuala. The 7.2%. It's the Hop Ride IPA with whole bean coffee.
And I believe the name is the coffee.
Oh, okay.
So that's where that name comes from. But the coffee goes with Hop Ride so well. We've done it with other IPAs that we've done, and it's good. But Hop Ride, for whatever reason, the hops in there and the coffee goes together so well. A little bit of boost, a little bit of caffeine.
Perks you right up. And then, let's see, the Burt Experience.
So that was the second time we had made that beer. We did it for our buddy Bert's wedding.
Okay.
And they did their reception at the creek. So it was awesome. Made this beer for them, ube in it. So it's purple.
Mhm.
And that was the second prettiest beer.
It was really pretty.
Every time I handed one to somebody, I'd put a flashlight to it. I'm like, look, it looks like Kool-Aid.
It does. And that is a Mexican lager. So the El Charo? Yep. With ube, toasted coconut, vanilla, and agave. So that was...
Yeah, it went, when we
So
did it
good.
for the wedding, it went that night. Just they rifled through it. So we were like, oh, that's a winner. We should do that for the anniversary party. Ergo, there it was.
Then the Continuum Riffs.
That's the Hellas.
Yeah, that was the Hell's Lager. 4.5% with Asian pears and candied ginger.
The ginger came through really nice.
It really did. Oh, God. I didn't, there was not a favorite.
I mean, I told Jeff that the beer is so good. Like, you did such a good job. And he goes, which one? I was like, which one? All of them.
All of them. So, Jeffy, if you're listening, that was just amazing. You did such a wonderful job.
Totally. What are we
Let's see.
missing?
What
Anything?
else? We got Puzzle of Madness.
Okay, so that was
We
one
kind
that
of touched a little bit on that,
Yep.
but not a lot. It was a 4.2%.
So it was the Moodstones
Mm-hmm.
with pink
Moodstones.
peppercorn
Yeah.
and watermelon.
It's a Moodstone Hefeweizen blend
That's right. It was
with watermelon and pink peppercorns.
Yeah.
Because I built a liquor brand here when I worked for Johnson Brothers, and it was Whistling Andy.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they have a gin with pink peppercorns in it. That's I'm pretty sure that
remember
you and
this.
I tasted that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, Brian, you got to try this.
I do remember.
Yeah. And then the Dreadnought was a 9% Imperial Stout.
God of Thunder blend.
God of Thunder blend with toasted macadamia nuts, maple, vanilla, and sea salt.
And the salt came through too in the back end
It
really nice.
Really did. Kind of like just smoothed it out a little.
Yeah. It was like eating chocolate covered macadamias, basically.
It made me want to go to Hawaii.
I've never been to Hawaii, but
What?
I would like to go.
Yeah. Well,
Island life is for me. I'm not going to lie to you. So
I can't believe that you've never been.
I've been to the Dominican and Mexico, a couple of different beaches there, but that's it. One day I'll make that jump, I guess.
Well, what else did we like at the party? I liked the Red Rider was good.
Oh yeah, we did. We made that for release that day too.
Okay.
It's not as hoppy perhaps as I remember it, so it's a bit more mild.
Yeah.
It's the only red that we do,
Right.
So it actually is really quite tasty.
It was really, really good. And then the Smash IPA. Did you try that?
Well, of course. I tried
Well,
that.
yeah, of course you did. You tried all of them.
But we have that, and that's a recurring one for us. This is
Okay.
the fourth generation of that. We did Strata first, then we did it with Mandarin and Bavaria hops. It was super mild, like a Pilsner. Then we did a big push and released cans, and everything else started canning. So we went back to Strata for that. And then this is the first time we've done Motuicas and New Zealand hop. And it's mild and absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. And
It's
thank you
single
for
malt.
pronouncing that, because I'm looking at this going, if I try to pronounce this, I'm going to butcher it.
Yeah, fair. I got that.
Yeah. Thank
So
you.
yeah, single malt and single hop, real simple beer. And that's its charm. It's real easy.
I think those are the serious ones. The rest are just the staples.
Yeah, I think so.
The basic
Did we miss
staples, the
anything?
Pilsner, the Hop Ride, the Oktoberfest.
There's the Peerless Barrel Aged Old Jackalope too for the party.
Oh.
So that was we did that with Corey's.
Yeah.
And special got a Peerless barrel and aged a batch in that. Normally we use all the smoke wagon barrels for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the first time we've done the Peerless with the barley wine. So we put that on. It's, in my opinion, I would like it on the in the barrel a little longer,
Mm-hmm.
but I also
Okay,
really
and,
like whiskey, so there's that.
For listeners that don't know what Peerless is, would you care to elaborate?
It's a delicious bourbon. I mean, I don't know how to necessarily elaborate more than that.
Okay, it's a delicious bourbon, everybody.
Go get you some.
Yes. Go to Corey's.
Well, and Corey's, he has a lot of good relationships with people and hand selects bottles, and we have frequented him for some of our liquor needs over the years.
Yeah, I did a couple beer launches, tap takeovers, that kind of thing there.
Right, it's great. I mean, and if people don't know what Corey's is, it's a nice little boutique liquor store, but you can drink there.
Mm-hmm.
They got a few taps, and you can hang out, and they do some events, and it's
Southeastern.
Very
yeah,
southeastern.
very, very Henderson.
And I live very north Decatur,
Yes.
so it's not convenient for me to go there ever. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I don't frequent the place myself.
Yeah, it's a shame. I wish if I lived closer, maybe, but
it's probably the best liquor store in town. You just can't.
Absolutely.
Driving an hour to go to the liquor store is just not something that really makes sense to me.
Yeah, during the pandemic, we got on a first name basis with the folks at the Lee's on Okie and Rainbow.
Fair. I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
I actually was getting a lot of things from like Big Dogs. They did like a vodka and growler, a Bloody Mary mix, and stuff like that. I was like, oh, I'm on it. I'm going there. I will support you.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we did a lot of supporting local business. As you well remember, because I would always use that as an excuse to come visit.
With the drive-through?
Yeah, I did the drive-through with
Gave everyone a hot dog?
A hot dog, yes.
Yeah, I heard those hot dogs were good. Just not much of a hot dog eater.
No, you're not. You're not a meat eater.
No.
You're a fish eater, right?
I do that.
Yes.
But yeah, we had to serve something, so the hot dogs work. And people would come by, they're like, we're just here for the hot dogs.
You're like, you know that we brew amazing beer here, right?
Yeah. Yeah, at least we got to keep doing that during the shutdown.
You know what? We got creative and I appreciated it. So yeah, I did. I frequented you guys a lot. And then we did Cornish pasty. You had to go in the alley around back, and they had like the big back door, the slider open, and just a table, and you can buy like a bottle of wine with your dinner, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just to keep it going since we couldn't dine in.
Right.
And then Lola's, when Lola's was downtown still.
I miss Lola's.
I miss it too, but I think she's still open in Summerlin, right? Yeah.
The town center and
Yep.
Summerlin Parkway, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go there.
Yes. So I know, but you can tell our listeners how you started at Tenaya Creek.
All right. By and large, my friend Eric was leaving the building. He was like, hey man, do you want my job? I was like, I do. I think I do. But more to that, I wasn't even working at the time. And now I frequented the place many, many, many times. I lived a mile away for the majority of my time here in Vegas. We would go snowboarding, stop there on the way home, fill growlers, do whatever. They had a great kitchen, good wine list. The beer was great. I figured I had to be a regular for about 5-6 years before I could actually get a job. So, they told me they wanted to hire a girl, and I was like, oh, great.
Mhm.
And then I had a interview and we talked about just about everything except for work. So I'm like, I guess this went all right.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I've been there ever since doing that. We did still have food back then, got rid of food in 2008.
Yeah.
People were all worried that we were a sinking ship.
Oh,
They're
no.
like, oh my God, you guys are a restaurant that happens to have a brewery. And I'm like, you're wrong. We're a brewery that happens to have a restaurant.
Yes. But the
So,
food was amazing.
oh yeah, it was really
I
good.
was a huge fan.
People still complain. What are you going to do?
Yeah. And then before that, you worked at House of Blues, right?
Right before that, I had opened Paradise Cantina
Okay.
across from what was then the Hard Rock.
Yep.
So I was there for a few years, something there and there. But yeah, House of Blues brought me to Vegas. So
Okay.
I was in Myrtle Beach and worked for the House of Blues there. Came here to open the house here. The idea was that we were going to head to San Diego after that. They were supposed to open within a year. It took them 7. And yeah, it just became a difficult corporate position there after a while. And worked little places ever since.
Yeah.
Little family-owned joints, which is better as far as I'm concerned. At least it has
Absolutely.
been lately. I say that, and then I'm like, well, it wouldn't hurt if I was in the union and have a pension later in life and do all these things, but meh, I guess that's not for me.
Um,
No, that said, when I moved here, there was no getting a job with the union anyway, with dreadlocks and earrings and everything else. So I think some of that has relaxed quite a bit here.
it definitely has. And I mean, I can't speak to having dreadlocks, but I do have tattoos,
Right.
and it it hasn't really been a challenge for me. Really,
Right.
they nobody. We're finally at a time in our lives where nobody really cares anymore.
Right.
It's kind of like industry standards, and then at Johnson Brothers, I just I kept getting more and more and more and more and more when I worked for them, and when it did come up, I said that because I was primarily based downtown, my customers were downtown, and I just said, look, it doesn't bother my buyers because most of them have more than I do,
Right.
and so it wasn't an
We're
issue.
dealing with real people.
Yeah, you're dealing with real people. I'm a real person, you know,
Yeah.
and it is what it is. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I don't have to get dressed up for my business meetings.
no,
That's not a thing.
no.
I suppose I could.
I like when you get dressed up on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
You look very nice.
I occasion it out sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll wear a tie.
I've seen you on New Year's Eve
Yeah, right.
in a tie and a nice little button-up shirt and a vest.
Yeah. Felt like I was working at fine dining.
Yeah. So one question that I ask all of my guests: what was your gateway beer?
Oh my goodness. It was a long time ago, really long time ago, before I was probably of a legal age to be drinking them.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a given.
So I don't even know what my gateway beer was. For a long time, Newcastle was my favorite beer. I absolutely love Sam Smith's, but it kind of came from going to see a bunch of Grateful Dead shows. People weren't selling Coors Lights. They were selling old speckled hens.
Yes.
And if any of it was craft, you could find Harpoon on the East Coast, Sierra Nevada, and usually it would be pale ale. But sometimes somebody would have a porter or the stout. And you're like, ooh, yeah, Headies. And it was great. Yeah. So when you go see a lot of shows and you can't really afford to do it, you got to do something to make some money. And selling grilled cheeses was great for a hot minute, but you got to sell a lot of dollar grilled cheeses. And it takes a while. You graduate to selling beer and you can make so much more money, so much more quickly. And so, yeah, you just got to watch out for it being legal to sell beer in a parking lot. And beyond that, 2 for $5. And so, yeah, Sam Smith's Winter Welcome every year
That
would
is
be
my favorite.
just be my favorite when it would come out. Forget about it. So those in that neighborhood is where I put it. I mean, I don't necessarily know one specific beer.
I tried that for the first time when I tried living in Eugene, Oregon. in the 90s.
Okay.
I lasted 3 months, by the way, because I couldn't stand not seeing sunlight.
Yeah.
I'm one of those.
And I was wondering what time of year it was.
Yeah. So when we arrived, it was still nice and beautiful and sunny out. And then about 3 weeks after that, then the rain started. And then, yeah, when Tracy doesn't see daylight, like sunlight for weeks at a time, I was a completely different person, and it was not good.
I believe that.
But that I was there for Christmas, and my friend Brian Penny came over with a Sam Smith's Winter Welcome Ale, and it was magic.
Blessing of your heart, you brew good ale.
I know. He does. So that's always my favorite winter brew.
Yeah.
That I haven't found a better one yet. So, but Jeff, if you're listening, I'm challenging you.
I mean, at that point, he could add some nice spices and go crazy with it that way. I think that's more of a Anthony. We need to brew a fantastic winter warmer.
Hey, Anthony, can we please have a fantastic winter warmer, please?
He used to do a spice beer. It's been a while since he's done that. You don't see spice beers that much anymore.
You don't. You really don't.
By you, I mean me, I guess. I don't know what you see.
Last year, I tried for the first time Voodoo Ranger beers.
Okay.
Their pumpkin spice, the atomic pumpkin.
Yes, they did a couple different pumpkin beers.
And this one it's made with jalapenos, and it's just got this little zip on the end. So good.
The Ranger series has done really, really well for them.
It was amazing. I was blown away because before that, as you remember, so we would always, we would have the Wasatch Pumpkin, then the Black-o'-lantern.
So I have the Black-o'-lantern on right now, and it's a 2021. So it's got 2 years of age on it, and it's drinking very, very well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I was waiting for you to bust out with the pumpkin beers. I would come in, and Katie, I would be meeting Tony and Katie. I'm like, where is it? She goes, oh, we have it. It's just not tapped yet. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So this year's pumpkin beers, I did the marble.
Yep. That marble one was good. That burnt pumpkin
noir. And then now I have on the Wasatch Black-o'-lantern.
Yeah. The Black-o'-lantern. And then, when Johnson Brothers carried Shipyard for a minute, remember that?
Of course I remember that. That smashed pumpkin.
That smashed pumpkin was amazing.
Just doesn't have all the pumpkin spice and everything. It's pumpkin. They used it as an adjunct,
yams.
and they
I
brewed
think that
with
one.
it. Yeah.
Or the pumpkin head. Was that the pumpkin head? Was that the one with the yams?
Well, pumpkins and yams. I mean, they're so closely related. I don't remember what's what. And if you get pumpkin pie filling or whatever, it's usually yams anyway.
Yeah, probably, right? Yeah. Well, all right. Well, I'm very happy that you came by.
I'm happy that I came by too. This is great.
Yeah, this is good. And
awesome.
I mean, we got to break down all the beers.
Yeah.
It'll be all good.
Next time we do this, we should just do it with the beer in front of us and discuss that.
Last podcast, I interviewed my friend Carl Ziegler, who co-founded a thing called Rosade.
Okay.
So it's rosé wine with lemonade.
So it's like an Arnold Palmer of sorts?
Sort of, yeah. But it's just so good. So, yeah.
I was just so surprised. Crispy Pig. It's a whiskey Bloody Mary in a can. It's right dang tasty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I wonder why it took people so long.
That sounds really intriguing, though.
I have that at the bar. You can come get one of those there.
Yes, I will. And an Underberg.
Indeed.
I love that Underberg is finally starting to take off here now. Finally.
I remember my first Underberg. Or my first idiot moment with Underberg, I should say. I was like, somebody made this delicious elixir. And you can sell it at a beer bar. So, I mean, it's not alcoholic, probably. It's just this, they marvelously made this wonderful thing. One day I was all wasted and I was like, I don't know. I mean, I had like 5 Underbergs. I don't know. I'm like, oh.
There you go.
Ding. It's only 88 proof. Sure.
Yeah.
You idiot. Yeah. So that was my dumb moment with the Underberg.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you for having me. It was great.
I'm Tracy Bradley, and that's the Thirst Trap Podcast. Produced and edited by Gonzo Greg Spillane for Noise Department. Our theme music is composed and performed by Jose Torres. Please like and subscribe wherever you enjoy your podcasts and share with your friends and associates in the beverage industry or anybody who drinks things. You can always visit and contact me at thirsttrappodcast.com, and you can find links to all the socials there as well. Till next time, cheers.